This is Pod Populi, podcast for the people.
Welcome to the Real Pink Diaries, a podcast about the beautiful chaos of figuring it out as you go.
Hosted by three close friends, each episode creates a safe space for honest, unfiltered conversations about the in-between moments of adulthood.
From building businesses to setting boundaries, we're here for all of it. With humor, vulnerability, and heart. It's not always polished or perfect. It's the Real Pink Diaries.
This is part 2 of the Law of Attraction and Manifestation. We actually had so much to say and we had so much fun on the first episode that we had to break it. We had to break it into 2.
Yeah.
So make sure to listen to episode 1. We're going to have the link right here on the description. Please check that out. And this part 2, it will make a lot more sense if you do so.
Because we're going to get back into how, because we started that, but we're going to get back into how of manifestation and then what blocks you.
Yeah, we talked in the first episode about what is the law of attraction, some of the things that we can do to manifest our future, and some of our personal experiences. So this is a continuation of that, and just jump into it.
Yay!
So excited you tuned in.
Yeah, thank you.
So I would like to talk about, I would like to be a little tangential here.
Oh, tell
Okay.
me.
I sent your husband on Instagram this thing that it was like an electric skateboard scooter thing with a wagon that was connected to the front of it.
Most fantasies.
That looks like a Volkswagen bus van. So like I
Another
thought
thing for the list.
Yeah.
so it's not the van of his dreams, but it's like the van junior.
Okay, so you're manifesting him to have some sort of van in my life. Thank you.
But this could be an in-between situation. This can help him get there for
it's a stepping stone of manifestation.
I know. If this just ends up at your doorstep.
Oh my God, Missy, please.
Well, I mean, it's like a wagon with a scooter attached to it.
Oh my God.
Okay.
It's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So let's keep rolling.
So we were talking about the how, which was the feel, believe, and become. The
Right.
feel is aligning your emotions, which are, was it electromagnetic or what was it?
Yeah, electromagnetic and high frequency emotions.
High frequency, like joy, gratitude,
happiness,
love,
gratitude, yeah.
and aligning it with a clarity of clear intentions and
Right.
projecting that into the universe
Yes.
for what could be potential.
Right.
And then believe was you see it, you believe it because it is true in your mind,
Mhm.
and then it is there for you.
Mhm.
And then become is you visualize it and then you internalize that and you come from a place of knowing that it's
Mhm.
true about yourself.
Exactly.
And then from that knowing, you take action. It's the platform with which you actually take action to do.
Exactly. Yes.
So
I those are in our way. So that the first step, second and third steps are how you can manifest. Obviously, many people have different ways to do it. Affirmations or visualizations. They do meditations, whatever the
dream boards.
Dream
Oh
boards.
my
Yeah, that's a
God,
big one. Dream boards. But I feel like you have to, if you don't put the feeling into it, it won't work. It's not only visualizing what you want, but you have to feel it and become it.
Yeah.
So what I would like to know, Amy, like what are the things that you actually do now, or your goals, if not?
Okay, so I am not consistent enough in this in this practice, I will say. So something I have to work on is consistency and really making it a priority and not just pushing it off as a luxury.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have, in my life, I've experienced spurts of progression and then not remission, but like
regression.
Regression. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
But are those really like regression times, or are they just like,
Recovery?
Yeah.
It could be part of the journey.
Yeah.
It's not always the same energy.
So that the inconsistency in what I visualize and see is my loophole that I need to overcome.
Yeah.
And it's like the life cycle that I'm living in myself.
Yeah.
So I need to work on consistency. But some things I used to do and I'm getting back into is meditation, but it's a different type of meditation. I actually, I put on a sound. It's like, it's not music. I don't know if you call it music, but I put on a sound and I focus on the rhythm of the sound and it helps me not wither off into
present.
it helps me be present. It helps me not like daydream about too many different things. I like focus in on a sound, and it really, really helps me meditate. It's what worked for me.
That's great. I think it's
everybody has to find what works for them. Some people like to be in silence. Some people like to do like the om moments. I'm not one of those people. I need to focus in on something. And then so those are some things I do. I used to do art. I really need to get back into that. Maybe the bridge painting will be my gateway.
Maybe we'll bring it to the show when finished.
Yes, the bridge
we'll
painting.
bring it to the show.
We should bring it. It will be in the background in the future.
It is massive, by the way. This bridge painting, it's like a 3 foot by 6 foot bridge painting.
Oh my gosh, I thought it was a small painting.
No, it's against the wall. I can't look at it, but
You know what we have to do? We have to post in our social medias that famous painting. We have to go to Amy's house, you and I.
Oh no,
we have to
it's
have
half
it
done.
I also think it would be funny. I think it would be funny. We should
before and after.
It would be funny too if we like went to one of those painting studios, or like if we finished it. If we like finished it for her without her knowing.
Oh my God, that'd be so funny. But one of the things that I consistently do, and is an easy gateway for me to get back into, is to go into nature. Sometimes, grounding myself. I call up my friend. And I tell her like I need you, I need guidance. And she sometimes does, vocal things with me, and she does visualizations with me on the beach. And I listen to the sound of the ocean, and I really ground myself. I'm literally grounding. Also,
you also have an earthy mind.
Yeah,
me too.
She gets into wilderness. She found the wilderness.
I found the wilderness. Yeah, but we do. We have earthing mats on our beds.
I have a good question on that.
Yeah,
you put it before underneath the sheet or not? I have it. It should be supposedly be more effective on top of your sheet, but that's what you do.
So I put it on top because we got it in winter.
Okay.
But now as summer is progressing, it's kind of sticky a little bit. Like, like it's not as comfortable. So I'm going to put it underneath. But when winter comes, that thing is coming on top of that sheet.
Make sure you use organic cotton or some organic fabrics.
Noted.
Because it won't work.
What are you?
Yeah. Yours comes with like a tester.
I know, but I'm going to steal yours.
Okay. Yeah, you're going to steal mine and test it, because I had one that was supposedly cotton, but it wasn't working. Then you had to, when I bought the organic cotton one, it was still, you get the ions through it. Like it was still working, but depending on the fabric.
And I really do notice a difference in like how my body feels physically. Yeah. Missy was looking at us like, what the hell is this grounding mat?
What is a grounding mat? What is a grounding mat?
Generally, we live in Florida. You can go outside, take off your shoes, and literally just stand on the earth. But we're so busy, like locked in work or wherever we are.
Do you know what grounding on earth is?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
It's the idea that if you stand on grass or
the ground or the earth, if you touch the earth, like barefoot, like you don't have shoes or anything, then you get the ions, this charge from the earth, the electromagnetic field, and the ions.
Right? It's basically you release the energy, like it's a connection to the earth and the magnetism of the earth, and you actually release the there's like proven science. I know it sounds woo woo, but it's like proven in science. There's people that do these scans of, and you can physically see it in these scans of the electromagnetic energy within yourself and how it's going back into the ground and coming from and regulating your electromagnetic system.
And therefore your health, chronic disease, inflammation, so many other benefits.
Like I definitely see, because I have arthritis also, among other diseases. and I recognize I feel so much better after using it. And then we went on vacation, and obviously I wasn't taking that with me. And just by the second or third day, I realized my aches and pains were coming back to me at night. Whereas before it took about 2 to 3 nights to really see a shift, because I was like, what's going on? Like, I'll just stick with it, see what happens. But yeah, that is something that I've implemented, and it really, really has shifted.
Okay, so can we go back to grounding is just going outside and standing on dirt, which I've heard before.
Or going to the beach.
Or going to, so just stand on the earth. Don't wear shoes. Get the ions, whatever.
Yes.
So is your bed now have like a dirt mat on it?
These are good questions.
Like what the hell is this, Amy?
Watch me get like a random sponsor. It's like, I will explain this better than you guys can. Yeah. No, but so you actually plug it into the wall. You know how a house has sockets,
ground, yeah.
and it has a grounding
wire.
wire
You have the
to
three
the
wires.
ground.
What do you have, like 3? So you have 3 wires.
No, it's
in
just
a-
it just connects into the grounding, which is the third on the bottom.
The third
it
third
just
hole.
the third hole in the bottom is the grounding wire.
Okay.
And so this mat has a wire attached to it that then plugs into the grounding wire and will connect and help you regulate your electromagnetism.
Or you could just go outside and take care
But
of
you
the
don't do
yard.
it often, and you sleep.
I
You're in your
don't,
bed
like,
8 hours a day.
I'm locked in my office at my computer doing things, then I'm running to get my kid and I'm running to the grocery store, and when am I going to have time? So I took it into my own hands and being like, yes, I could easily just go outside, but when realistically does that happen?
And
Talking about consistency, we
Yeah.
sleep consistently.
Yeah, and if you do, I take it as a plus.
Yeah.
But at least you're spending most of your life sleeping on your bed, 8
Yeah.
hours or plus a day.
Yeah.
So that would be great. That if you can be grounded the entire time.
So do you?
We're supposed to be grounded the whole time.
Okay, how did you hear about this
I
not
love how
dirt
they
mat?
found it separately.
So I found it on a podcast that I watched, by the way, that is amazing. Next Level Soul.
Of course you
and
do.
they interview the first guy that came up with this, and that created is earthing.com, I think is the company, and that's how I
They're-
learned about it. Yeah.
And there are different companies that create it, and everybody
A lot
like
of them.
rates them. You should always research the ones you get because
Yeah.
some are better than others.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know how I think it just was like a pop-up advertisement because of the woo-woo shit I listened to.
Well, I mean, I go outside and take care of the yards like a couple
Without
days a week.
shoes?
No, I wear shoes.
Yeah, then
Okay.
that doesn't work.
Well, I
doesn't
mean,
work.
I have to. Well, like I'm raking.
But
like,
that's the point.
but I'm
is
like
that you're
so-
not connecting with the earth.
But I'm raking up piles of leaves and putting them in like needles in a,
intermittent.
I don't think it like I don't know if it like travels through leaves. I don't know
think
exactly
so.
how it
I
works,
don't
but
think so.
the most effective
you-
way is just
yeah.
to stand on.
If you
the ground.
touch a tree and you stay there with your hands, yes. But if you're doing that, I don't think
Yeah.
you're
I mean, I don't know, like, because there's like a lot of dirt and stuff in my yard, and I don't know
It's
if that
not
would
about
be
dirt.
healthy.
It's about connecting to the Earth's magnetism.
Mhm.
Okay, but what I'm saying is like there's like I'm already like completely dirty from taking care of the yard.
But it has nothing to do with
That's
dirt.
But the dirt is all over me. Like the dirt gets all
But
over
the
my
dirt is
legs.
no longer connected with the earth. You know what I mean?
But I'm raking with a
That's
rake.
not how it works, Missy.
Can it not go through the metal of the rake?
Yeah.
No, that's
into
not how
the
that
like
works.
No. All right.
Okay. Anyway, we're kind of like we went on a tangent.
So
Your daily manifestation practice. You
Yeah.
went over what you do, what you're improving, and how
Yeah.
your favorite one
Consistency is my
consistency.
issue. Yeah.
So I
What
want to
about
talk
you?
about mine.
Yeah.
So
What about you?
mine has evolved with the years. So I started, as I mentioned, I would go to bed and visualize these movies in my head. Then I read the book, The Power Seeker documentary, whatever, and I got lost on the details of how I should overthinking.
How? Analytical mind.
How? An engineering mind overthinking that part. So I got completely lost, and I couldn't like feel it the same way. But I
Interesting.
transitioned into a place now where I do it through meditation. So the type of meditation that I do is a little bit different from the headspace. I transition from that kind of meditation to one that is an hour long, but it takes you from the present moment where you are. It takes you out of like the reality, like in the sense of being a thought. Just closing your eyes, imagining yourself completely isolated in space, and then just really focusing on your mind and being present on nothing and focusing on nothing. So then there's music that helps you to be present and be in your own like space, outer space. I don't know how to say it.
So you're visualizing yourself in an isolated space.
Yes.
Okay.
with music that helps
Okay.
you get there.
Okay.
And then once I'm at there's different steps, but then you start visualizing what you want. But once you are there, you have that heart and brain coherence, meaning you are present, you feel relaxed, and you are like open to feel the emotions. I start visualizing what I want, and I still do the visualization part.
So you're like at an elevated emotional state.
Yes, you
Okay.
start feeling those emotions before
Okay.
it happens, and then you
Interesting.
visualize what you want, and then that's what the way I'm doing it now. And consistency is
Yeah.
definitely the challenge. I am making it a priority. and I'm trying to
like,
fit it in
so
my
you
day.
literally every day are taking an hour, because that's really a good commitment.
Yeah, I've been doing it consistently for the last couple of weeks, but I did it before and then stopped.
It's hard to maintain.
And then I started it again, but now I'm committed to do it. And my ideal goal is, this is my ideal day. Waking up at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's not my ideal day.
Having an hour for meditation, that would be 6:30. If I could fit yoga in there, it would be great, but realistically, most likely not. My son will wake up at that time and I have to take care of him. But then some way, somehow, fit yoga during the day, maybe afternoon, noontime, whatever my schedule allows. And then, that's it. I try to fit in the morning. Right now, I'm doing the meditation at night, which is a challenge because I'm
So
sleepy,
hard.
tired, and I feel like even makes me more awake and it's harder to go to sleep after. But I'm so committed to do it every day that if I can't fit it during the day, I still have to do it at night, no matter what.
That's commitment. I commend you for that, because
it's work, but let's see how it goes.
Do you feel different after these few weeks? Like, do you feel more present? Do you feel more clarity? Like, what is your experience?
Yes, I feel different. I feel like I'm handling situations better. Like when I go back to my anxiety that I developed after my health issue in 2021, I developed anxiety. So it's been a journey how to handle that better and better. So it comes and goes. It's not like I have anxiety every single day of my life, but it comes and goes. This type of which by the way is Dr. Joe Dispenza.
I really need to get in on this because I haven't. I think
he has like workshops and stuff too. Like we could do a work.
This is my dream. I'm trying to convince Tommy to do this with me. It's very expensive, but he does this 7-day retreat thing, meditation.
Where?
In different all
over
places, California, Cancun.
Go to Cancun.
Yeah, Mexico. Like he does it. Someday I'll do that. But right now, so I do his meditations, but I don't know where I was getting to the point of.
Yeah, we got too excited.
But you were talking about your current practices.
I'm handling things better. Like, I just know that everything that happens in my life is for a reason. And it's all gonna work out well and to my highest benefit. And I am safe. Yeah. So that's some of the things that I do. Just reframing the way I think about that specific situation. If I have an anxiety, if I cannot sleep one night, then next day I try to like reframe, try to be present that day to do more. If I have to do more meditation, I do more. If I have to do more yoga or go to the beach that day, if I have to do more grounding, but talking positively and being compassionate with myself.
That's hard. Yeah, it's so hard for me to be compassionate with myself. I beat myself up all the time, but I will say when I am spiraling, the one thing that I can hold on to is I start with the gratitude and literally listing things in my life I am grateful and thankful for. And it does help elevate me out of that. But yeah, I definitely, it's one of the tools that I use. Just making a list. My husband's going to laugh at me because I hate making lists of chores to do and he loves that. And I'm like, oh God, it's so annoying. But like every weekend he's like, okay, I got my list. I'm like, I want a break. I don't want to see the list for an hour. But what about you, Missy? What is your daily stuff that you do?
Or things that your goals?
Or like something you would like to do that you haven't?
Well, first, I need to know if you do this meditation on the dirt mat.
That's at night. You sleep on it.
No, so do you do it on the mat?
Yeah.
Not the dirt mat, the earth mat.
The earth mat.
But so do you do it on the earth mat?
Yeah, I do it, but not always. Sometimes I do it during the day if I don't do it at night, and I just do it on a couch or on a chair somewhere. If I can do it on the grass, I'll do it, but no, I have not been doing that.
I don't have the time. During the pandemic, one of my like high school choir colleagues, his name is Raymond Storms, and he's a fantastically talented opera singer, but he transitioned into like doing online meditations. And that was like the only thing that calmed me down during the pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. Sometimes he comes in town. Like next time I should be like, we should do that. Like, and I see him doing like meditation things, but they're like, he sings the meditations.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you have a background in music. So like you connect to it on a higher level.
Well, I was also thinking like you were talking about like was it this episode you said you use music a lot? I mean, there's a reason why there's a reason why, you know, music has been part of like all worship ceremonies from like the dawn of time, you know, because it transports us into that experience.
Yes, it does.
So there's a reason like why musicians are musicians. There's a reason why like we like, you know, you guys will probably all encourage your children to do music, have an instrument in addition to everything else that they will be required to do. But music is a very powerful like transporter of things.
It helps
Recently, I listened to, I mean, I don't know if this is really connected to law of attraction or manifestation, but if I'm trying to calm down, I'll listen to like even when I'm working ASMR.
What is that?
It's like, explain it.
Well, I think the best way to explain it is to demonstrate it.
So it's a fixation on a particular sound that will, to some people, will calm them. Like, or just looking, it can be visual as well. Well, ASMR is sound,
It's a sound like autonomous something. Basically, you get tingles up your arms and sometimes in your head. Yeah, so it's and not everyone experiences it, but it could also be like I love watching like massage videos where people will like describe. But this isn't for manifestation. This is just to like get to a peaceful state, which is like you said, like the coherence.
Yes.
People will like cut fruit or like do kinetic sand or like it's just like is that a different thing?
Okay, so there is some. Yeah, I mean there is there's all sorts of different triggers out there. Yeah. There's like some people will like if you touch the microphone and you whisper like this. Like, but you know what got it started? What got me started on it? What was it? Vanity Fair had Cardi B do an ASMR video, and I watched that, and I'm like, oh my god! And then I just went down the rabbit hole. But recently, I just like they'll just show like people like brushing hair or like getting a massage or like you know just even talking. Like I think that one of my favorites is like gentle whispering. But again, I'm not trying to manifest anything at this point except for to be calm. But you know, like
you're regulating your emotions.
Yeah. But like, you know, like how Joe Dispenza will talk. Does Joe Dispenza talk about like the different brain waves in his?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you,
that's a coherence. That's part of the coherence.
Yeah. So like by getting into the ASMR range or by getting into that experience, I guess you would be in coherence. I don't know what else I do.
That's fine. So
that's perfect.
What is something that if we have to give our listeners an advice on what is a simple thing that they could do today to start their journey on manifesting?
It's not simple. It's honestly make it a priority. Just do it. Get into the action of doing it. You can even just do journaling, getting your thoughts out to help clarify your clear emotions and clear thoughts and get clarity on where you want to go. Yeah. Because sometimes it's hard for people to be like, I don't know where I want to be. I don't like where I am, but I don't know where I want to be. And to even visualize a better option. So I would say, okay, that was a lot. So, so I would say the beginning steps for me was having the concept or holding on to the concept of opportunity and really understanding that things are possible and getting into that positive mind frame from whatever baseline I was at. And then from that positive feeling, I got into believing and then I got into being. And that, so it's really, it starts with your emotional state, I think.
And I think one of the simple things you could do too in that sense is just sit down with yourself. Deal with yourself. Start learning yourself.
That's true.
Like just be quiet for 15 minutes and see what comes out. See what comes out.
Yeah.
What is your belief system? What emotions comes out?
Frustration.
Start listening to your heart and just see just stay quiet with yourself and start learning more about yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you might have to go through those negative emotions and recognize them and address them to then elevate yourself from them.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's really important.
I think like it's also like a lot of this is like inner work, you know. I'm like sometimes I'll feel like, oh man, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting at home in my room. Like, no, you're sitting at home in your room. That's a great place to start. And then sometimes like the people will say like believing, and like another thing, like Louise Hayes is really big on affirmations. And sometimes it, like you might say like, I want to have confidence. I want to love myself. I just want to have that it factor that makes you like da 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 da. But yeah, like sometimes you don't have that. Like sometimes you're not there. Sometimes you're just like, I would like to be that someday, maybe. And then maybe you get a little bit closer. I would like to be that.
You always have
I would like to be.
generation.
Yeah, like I would like to be that someday, maybe. I would like to be that. I would like to be that. I'm becoming that. I believe I can come back. I am that. Amy is a licensed architect, if y'all are interested. And we went through the same program. So eventually I would also like to be a licensed architect. And I think the other thing that I'm just sitting at home in my room, but also like we talked about in the first episode, which y'all make sure you reference it. ASMR.
Stop it.
But we talked about like just like who you're around. Sometimes like just being around people that have the same goals. Like for me, like eventually at some point, I'm going to take my last 2 architect registration exams. And even if I just show up for the architect registration exam boot camp meetings that they have every night, like even if I don't do anything else but show up, eventually I'm going to learn the stuff I need to know eventually. So being in the environment is a big deal. Also being in a positive environment. Shout out to Mike Rosica, Airy boot camp. Can we do an ASMR boot camp? No, I don't think people
Stop this. All right.
So let's talk about what gets in the way.
What gets in the way.
Yeah, not just what we can do, but like what are the things that we that stop us from achieving where we want to be, right? So for me, it's sometimes I get sucked back into like a specific memory I have of like, oh, that's not possible because XYZ. And I create this excuse essentially for why it can't happen. Because I'm in this situation and I have that and this and the other. And I essentially block myself from all the possibilities of what can be. And it's and
self-sabotage.
Yeah, self-sabotage essentially. And to recognize like the lies that you tell yourself and what isn't true.
You know that they say that 50% of our memories from the past are not true.
Really?
What?
Like we've like twisted it? Really?
Yeah.
That's
our perception on things in the past, part of it is not even true anymore. So we're holding on to an old belief. Yeah, and especially it's kind of a trauma thing. Like if something really happened to you that it just puts you in a hard state of being traumatic or, stressed state of being, you grab onto that. Your brain takes a photo of that moment. And that's what you keep going back to. Like that's the memory of the past that you keep going back to, that, oh, because that happened to me, then this and that. And the other, and yeah. It's very interesting because I had an experience, but I shared it with someone, and their experience of that event was completely different. Talking about perspectives. It was completely. She was like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." And then I found out that what I was remembering.
That
wow, stutter. Remembering like that I twisted became something held true, but the reason why. And I was like, what do you mean? I forget how she proved it. Like she actually, I don't know if she had video or I'm trying to remember. Oh my God. But anyway, no, it was a real thing. Like, and she's like, yeah, oh, it was a text. It wasn't what was said. It was a text. That's what it was. Okay. Now I'm getting all my right now everything's twisted in my head. It was a text. It was an interaction and then a text after. And so, after the interaction, we were in a 3-way chat, and she I spoke to this friend after 3 weeks. Can you believe her? Why would she say this about me? This and that. And then it became something to the effect of, that never happened. Like you saw this sentence and interpreted it this way, and that's what you held to be true. And so I don't want to out what's going on. And this is very like, I guess people can relate to this type of situation,
No,
right?
I mean, who hasn't been in that situation where they feel one way and someone else feels another, and then you have a conversation about it, and it's like, that wasn't even real, you know, or you hold something to be true because of how they acted, but that's only how you perceive the truth. Like everybody's truth is different. Yeah. But also I think that like, I love this idea that 50% of your memories are
not even true.
Yeah. So like, even if like,
past memories.
Okay. So let's say you don't change, you don't change what happened, but if you can change the way you looked at it, I was, oh man, I was a failure at this like project in school or this job or something. No, you did the best you could,
And that's so important. I learned, I think part of why I developed anxiety at some point in my life is because I always been so hard on myself growing up. I always
the judgment,
and I always was like perfectionist, and you had to do this and that, and nothing was never good enough, and I always wanted more. And I instead of like stopping for a second and say, okay, what I have is enough, and look at count your blessings, gratitude. Just take it for gratitude, take it for granted. No, don't take it for granted. And I took it for granted for many years. I just moved on to the next one. And then because I was always so hard, I had to, if I did a test in school, I had to have 100. It couldn't be 99.
That overachiever mentality. Yeah.
Right. And that's not good. So I've learned how to be compassionate with myself, to love myself. And today I can say fully, absolutely, I am in love with myself the way I am. And
I'm working towards that.
and if you're not there where you can't say that I love myself, you can say
it's a work in progress.
It's a process too. It's not just happening overnight for you, right?
And you might not.
You had to work really hard.
Yeah.
And you might. I'm sorry.
No.
Am I cutting her off?
No.
You're fine.
I'm like, oh no. I'm trying not to. Well, you might like love like one part of yourself, but you might you might think about like, hey, I'm happy about this and this, but I'm not happy about this. I would like to like kind of take this in another route. Have you guys ever like been really stressed about money? And then you're really stressed about money, you're really stressed about money.
I used to be, not anymore.
But if you're really stressed about money and you keep on focusing on being stressed about money, of course your car's going to break down.
You're attracting more.
Yeah. Of course, like this stuff is going to happen. So like if you can get out of that, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like do your budget, watch what you're spending, do as much as you can to like address the
accountability.
Yeah. Like own the thing. But at the same time, like, if you can look at it solution oriented, and like, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Then maybe, I mean, the car might still break down, but like, who knows why the car breaks down? No one knows why the car breaks down. Yeah. Only the mechanic knows, and they're basically gods. I mean, my mechanic is basically God. He's amazing.
But if you also, there's studies done where people who are in financial struggle don't make the best decisions because their mindset actually is not in a good place.
Creating from a scarcity.
Yeah. They're on survival mode. Yeah. They are focusing on their like feeding scarcity into their lives. And there's studies where the same person or individual, when they're in a better state of their lives, would have handled the situation completely differently based on how they're coming from, what they're coming from and who they're being at that time. It's really, really interesting. And I actually heard that, I forget who I heard that from. It was a friend but anyway, I didn't believe it. So I'm like, what are you talking about? That can't be real. And I actually had to look up this study because I'm that type of person.
Next time we'll have
and it was true. I was kind of dumbfounded of like the same person in a different environment acts differently. It was so weird to me. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's definitely like, I completely believe it. It's definitely perception, how your personality, how your set of belief systems. But what gets in the way? So we have like life routine, same thoughts every day. So
negative thoughts.
And if you also, they say like, we think about 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and 90% of them are the same as the day before. So if you're thinking almost the same thoughts every day, you're living in a predictable future. So your future, unless you start introducing new thoughts or new emotions, new feelings to your life, you're not going to change that. But how you overcome that. So life routine and same thoughts. So make it a priority, right?
Yeah.
Try to like find some time and don't be so hard on yourself. Like some days might be 10 minutes that you can do.
Yeah.
It's better 10 minutes than nothing.
Yeah. And it could be, okay, so if nothing changes, right? And I would also like another life motto I don't know, but no, like, sometimes I will get paralyzed when it comes to making a decision, AKA car, computer, everything. So like, if you make a decision, if you don't make a decision, that is a decision. The decision is that you're doing nothing, right?
So make it,
so at least making a decision, taking a risk, like gets you further along, right? Who's to say if it's the right decision, wrong decision? I mean, you can't really assign blame or like,
but you
or
can always pivot to the next decision. Like there's always movement and change in life. That's the only constant thing is things are changing. So if you stay still, you're literally,
your life is going to stay the same.
Yeah.
But again, let's go back to you're not doing anything. You're just sitting in your room, like you can just, and for me, like my room that I grew up in, right? But if you're still sitting in there and you can start to think different thoughts, try to make decisions like, I want to love myself. I want to make healthy decisions. I want to be in a better place. It will get you it will get you someplace. Even if it is just making yourself feel better, that will help you out. But if nothing so what I was going to say, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you, the pursuit of novel experiences, right? Or novel thoughts or doing things a little bit differently to help you manifest change in your life. I think I've heard this like in some manifestation thing someplace, like, just take a different way to work. I live in a city that's a grid. I love a grid. I go to Port St. Lucie. It's not a grid. I got lost. I was going east and then all of a sudden I was going south. I'm like, this is confusing, but my city is a grid and I work in my city. So I can take another of the grids and go over a couple blocks and at least take a different way to going someplace. And that's exciting.
You kind of start with very, very small changes.
It disrupts your mundane day and provides a platform to then have these thoughts and feelings. Like for me, we were discussing this before we started airing this, was that like I have a problem with like saying affirmations into a mirror and looking at myself. I either bust out laughing because I feel ridiculous or I just can't look myself in the eye. I feel like a fraud, like this imposter syndrome moment happening. And so like that self-judgment is really my, the thing I really need to work on, maybe in therapy. Probably in therapy. But for me, that's my roadblock is like, I guess self-love of like, cause I know I can go out there, do things, achieve things, but then saying I'm worthy of it is such a different conversation.
I feel like I would make a small change on that and practice. Instead of saying, if you don't feel comfortable saying I am something, just say I'm learning to be that. So I'm learning to be whatever the affirmation is, to be happy, to be in peace, to be, I don't know, whatever you're saying to yourself.
It's gentler on you.
Gentler. And just like you are working on that. Maybe you'll not be in the place where you can say, I am this freely on a mirror and just be okay with that, because that's
so weird. It's such a weird thing. Practice it. Everybody out there, go into a mirror, and some people will have based on your own core beliefs of yourself. Like it'll be easier for others. But for me, it's my personal struggle is to like
but if you keep
practicing,
and practicing,
it's hard.
It's hard. It's really hard. It's really hard to change your belief systems.
Because it is. It's changing your belief systems. It's not just saying words to yourself. It's actually believing them.
What about
the hardest part?
What little kid do you put in front of the mirror isn't obsessed with the mirror? What little kid, like your kid, like every little kid is obsessed with the mirror. So that's like some sort of like adult, like between when you were a little kid and now, I guarantee you, if I call Lisa, I said, did little Amy Drew, did little Lucy like looking at herself in the mirror? She'll say, yes, she did.
Not only was I obsessed with the mirror, but so there was a reflectivity in the oven in the kitchen, and I would dance in front of that oven like no one's business, looking at myself dancing. I have vivid memories of feeling so confident in myself in that moment. I don't know where she went. I will find her. Yeah. But yeah, I haven't thought of that in forever.
I think
your inner child. Going back to your inner child. I look at my son and, Eliana, and we look at, and they wake up so happy every day.
She literally says that. She goes, I'm happy. And I'm like, I want to be happy too.
Well, I mean,
it's so beautiful to see the innocence and the clear thoughts that she's having at 2 that like is so sometimes hard to imagine as an adult.
Yeah. So we had to learn from them more.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that gets in the way.
Yeah.
I will say just a last thing that maybe we should mention is trying to control the outcome. I feel like when you surround yourself and you let go and you're not attached to the outcome, that's when things happen. And you maybe for you, you're expecting to get this outcome and you think that's the best thing for you, but may not be.
Because in a sense, you're limiting yourself because you're limiting the possibilities of what could be by saying this is the one thing that needs to happen or whatever it is.
Yeah. Like, I mean, who hasn't been in a situation where they try and try and try so hard to make something happen and then for some reason it doesn't happen?
I mean, surrender is hard though. To surrender to the moment and what can be is such a unnatural, I would say, but an unnatural thing to do, to say like, I leave it up to fate or whatever whatever you want to call that. It's such a hard thing to conceive. I mean, because it could be endless possibilities. Yes. So like to limit yourself to what you can only think is possible is
it's so limiting.
Yeah, it's limiting.
There's no other word for it. Like,
I also think that like, for me, like, who knows what's going to happen with this podcast? We're recording this now and we're going to release it in 2 months, pretty much.
Less than 2 months. Yeah,
we have
August, hopefully.
We have no, and again, to go back to our dash-ish, please follow us on social media without the dash. I was talking to Kelly and I'm like, I don't know what's going to define success for this podcast. And she's like, maybe it's something you're going to figure out as you go.
Yeah. Surrendering to the podcast.
Yeah. Well, like you'll kind of figure.
Just being us and let's see what happened. Let go.
Well, I will say on a note to actually, it's quite a foundation part of my life is surrender was when I finally accepted my husband in my life. Mm-hmm. So this is a little funny story about control.
Like I'm already starting to laugh.
Here we go. About control and what you expect and what you want to achieve and your goals, and having that visualization is important. But being tunnel vision to that vision, vision to that goal can be detrimental to the other possibilities out there. So I was a place in my life where when I set a goal, I will achieve it. No matter hell or high water, it's going to happen. And at that time I was taking my tests and I was being, selfish in a sense, because I was like, I even told my friends, like, you're not going to see me. I'm going to be studying. I'm going for these tests. I'm going in. Even if I don't feel confident, I'm going to do it and make it happen. And if I fail, I'll learn from, the questions that were asked and do better next time. Mm-hmm. And it was at this moment where not only am I telling my friends I'm not going to hang out with you, but I wasn't open to having anything romantic in my life. Mm-hmm. And so I met my husband. We'll talk about how I met him another time. But essentially, I met him, got a grudge on him, and then he ended up being in my friend circle. And I wouldn't acknowledge that I was attracted to. He was cutie. He's a cutie man. Yes. And I wouldn't let myself feel those emotions. And I kind of just pushed it away. And he was definitely attracted to me because he was hitting on me every all the time. And I just kept pushing it away. And then there was this one night, if anyone in West Palm knows tacos and hip hop, it was an event that happened in an alley where this guy would just DJ in the middle of an alley. There was this taco stand that was a pop-up tent, and everybody would just have tacos and dance. And like, it was kind of a big rager. Like there was way too many people in that alley for the fire code. Anyway, but it was in that moment that he was wearing like a V-neck and like this backwards cap. He looked like, it wouldn't be someone I was attracted to, but his being and who he was such a kind and gentle and patient person. And I just said, what the heck? And we started dancing, and it was the first time I like pulled him in and I kissed him. And if I never just let go of the idea of what I had to achieve or who I needed to be in that moment to make my goal happen, and I let him into my life and I let that part of myself go and be free. And we're married with a kid now. So like, you never know, you might have specific goals that are more geared in professionalism or whatever your goals are, but don't ignore the other things coming into your life. I think it's super important.
I love that. I love that story. Well, to wrap this up, I want to ask you let's have some fun really quick. Like if you were to manifest someone you want to have in the show, who will you bring as a guest?
Rich Roll has a podcast. He used to be he used to be a triathlete, and then he had, actually, I think you would enjoy his podcast. I will send you. I'll send it to you. He talks about being. He gets into the woo-woo a little bit, but he definitely has a different way of viewing life. And from his experiences and his guests who bring it on, it definitely elevates my feelings. And I feel more connected to myself every time I listen to him. So I would say him. And the reason I know who he is because my husband introduced me to him. So I would love to just have my husband in the corner.
So if you're listening,
fanboying over like bringing him on. That would be amazing.
Okay. What about you, Missy?
I want Virginia from the KVJ show. I've listened to them since I was in high school. They're amazing, and she's hilarious. And I mean, I would take any of their people to come and enjoy this recording with us. But I mean, I feel like, the Virginia would just be perfect.
I love that. And my turn.
Yes, your turn.
So I have 3 really quick.
Oh, no. Of course you do.
You're going to guess the first 2. Maybe not. I will bring Jennifer Lopez and Eva Longoria. Because they're 2 big-ass Latina women who has made it. And I've listened to some of their conversations, and they manifested their lives. And they're very strong women who had to work really, really hard, but also applies this law to get where they are. That's 2 of them. And the third is, guess what?
Who?
Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Of course.
Oh, I think I'd love to bring him. He's, I'm sure he doesn't have time for a podcast like ours.
I never know.
Yeah, I think he does.
He's just brilliant, and he's changed my life.
Wow. Well, that's a testament.
And I'm sure millions of other lives. So, so I think we had a pretty good
thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you for listening. We had so much fun, and we'll look forward to spending time with you in the next episode.
Please subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Real Pink Diaries. You can also find us on YouTube. Check out our show notes for additional ways to connect with us.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.